Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to check out the brand new OnePlus Bud Z. These are the same in-ear true wireless earphones that were announced at the OnePlus AT launch event last week. And of course, we finally have them in the office. So we're going to do a quick review for you guys, sharing with you guys all the new features. But not only that, also the feature that's coming in with the OnePlus Bud Z that's going to benefit the original OnePlus Buds. This is TK. Let's check them out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. So what I have in front of us is the brand new OnePlus Bud Z or Z, depending where you are, and this is the white color. There's going to be a couple of versions. Actually, there's a white, gray, as well as a special edition one, and that one is actually currently not available. On the website, at least in the US, you currently are able to see that this availability is going to be coming soon. They still do have the original OnePlus Buds, and now at a discounted price of $59, so you're able to pick these guys up as well. The big difference, obviously, you'll notice is that these are more in-ear, well, actually kind of like they sit or they rest on your ears, but not necessarily providing a full seal around the audio or the listening experience. They're able to get pretty loud. They're charged via USB-C as well as a reset button on the back, and of course, you obviously have a long playback time and an LED on the front. What we get here is a slightly different experience. And what I mean here essentially is you can definitely see that we have an in-ear experience here. So this is intended to give us a little bit more of an ear seal, providing us better audio, but just providing us lower, basically ambient sound coming through. Again, this is the white one. There's a few other colors available. As far as we see here, basically in the box, we get the bass boost. That's going to be for audio performance. Now, some of the features that we're going to look at here are specific to OnePlus devices, but I'm also going to talk to you guys a little bit in a second about what you can do to be able to actually use some of these features on other devices. Like an example, here, basically the Galaxy Z Fold 2 that I have here, that will also do a quick test. Now, when it comes to the features that we have here, we have bass boost, up to 20 hours worth of playback with the included case. So that's the battery in the case as well as the earphones. IP55 water and sweat resistance, essentially great for workouts, but I wouldn't necessarily go swimming with them, obviously. Comfortable and easy design to use. They do have replaceable ear tips that you're able to customize. And last but not least, easy connection here to be able to connect them to your smartphone simply by just opening it up next to the phone. Now, as far as the actual unboxing, is pretty simple. As I showed you guys, these are the features that we have there. And here are the brand new OnePlus Bud Z. The design is very much, I would say, inspired by the Galaxy Buds, but that's beside the point. But once we open them up, we notice that they're very different in design. Again, much more ergonomically designed to be actually sitting in the ear as opposed to sitting just on the outside. We have a 10mm driver that's built in here, 2 microphones for basically good audio reception. So you have a microphone present on the bottom and another one present actually right here on the side. Touch sensitivity for double tap and press and hold, and of course we have 2 earpieces for both right and left configuration. You don't have to use both of them at the same time, but you can definitely get up to 20 hours worth of playback with the included case, and they are magnetically connected. So meaning if you flip it over, it's not going to open, and of course if you close it, it also won't open. No wireless charging. We have USB-C charging on the back. We also have a configuration or a reset button that's present here. So if you're having an issues connecting it to your new phone, open up the case, press and hold till you see the light indicator turn on, and you're pretty much ready to go. Otherwise, in the box, we get replaceable ear tips to get that right fit, a USB-C to USB Type-A connector as a very short cable, and of course the instruction manual. Now, when it comes to pairing, pretty simple. You just basically open it up, and of course, as long as you have it paired with the device, it'll pair to the last one that it connected to. You are able to pair this to 2 devices at the same time and easily switch between 2 different devices. But once you connect it, you can definitely see here, you get the information. You're able to see basically the battery level on both earpieces as well as the case. If we go into the Bluetooth settings, we'll notice that there is an additional gear here that gives us the ability of controlling and customizing the experience here. The one thing I will talk to you guys in a little bit is how we're going to be able to get some of these controls on non-OnePlus devices, because currently that's pretty much the way we've been able to control the OnePlus Buds and the OnePlus Bud Z is using the Bluetooth settings by jumping into the Bluetooth settings and going into that gear. So we're able to do Find My Device, pretty simple. Double tap on the left earbud to be able to control it. So we have it a play, pause, voice assistant, previous track, or next track. And same thing on the right side. You can get the basically play, pause, voice assistant, and so on. The one thing I will say though, that once you configure it on a OnePlus device, let's say I configure the way to have it here, I have the assistant on the right earbud, and of course play and pause on the left, this will work the exact same way on any non-OnePlus device. It actually gets encoded on the actual earpiece themselves. As far as audio codec, we have the ability of turning on AAC or SBC, and of course you have the ability of turning on phone calls, media, contact sharing if you'd like to. Auto updating firmware, so you're able to basically check the firmware on them, and right now they're running on 3.305.305.232. And of course, function description just gives you the example of how to basically use them, tapping function, and of course, finding my device. and of course allowing updates to go over. And that's pretty much it. Once you have this configuration done correctly, you're able to enjoy your OnePlus Buds on your smartphone and enjoy the music on them. Now, one of the things they did talk about at the beginning is that we have Bluetooth 5.0 support, as well as the fact that we have Bluetooth, or basically Dolby Atmos configuration. Once we go into the sound configuration under our OnePlus device, we're able to go into Dolby, so you're able to customize the music to dynamic music, obviously movies and so on. You're also able to set up the style preference here, so you can jump in there and customize a specific EQ, and of course enhance the earphone speaker here to be able to get better audio. Now this gets turned on whenever we have these earphones connected, so let's go ahead and put them on here, and this will actually provide us somewhat of a more of a bass boost that they were talking about on the actual box. So that's overall the best thing here. Of course, earphone mode, that's the option that we looked in here. We have autoplay, of course, answer calls over Bluetooth, and then of course Bluetooth absolute volume, which also helps with the audio performance on the actual buds themselves. Now I did mention to you guys that we have the ability of switching devices from one device to the other, and by just doing a 2-second hold on any of the earpieces. So if I press and hold on one earpiece and just give it a few seconds, it's going to go ahead and disconnect from this phone and then connect over to my Samsung phone. So that was the other phone that I have configured. Now on a Samsung device or a non-OnePlus device, currently we don't have a way of controlling other than just turning on calls and audio. The built-in EQs and all of those functions will work perfectly fine. It's just that we cannot reconfigure those taps on the actual earpieces. If I want to switch back, just press and hold on the earpiece itself and it'll get the exact same experience, and it'll switch over, it'll disconnect, and it'll connect to the last device that it connected. Now, keep in mind, it only does it for 2 devices, so if I have, let's say I connected this device and I disconnect the other one and I pair a new one to it, it should be able to switch back and forth between the two. Let's go ahead and do a quick audio sample, but basically a video recording using the microphones on the OnePlus Bud. So we'll go ahead and do a quick audio test with the brand new OnePlus Bud Z. This is just a video recording the audio with the headphones, just so you guys can get a reference. There is an airplane above me and there's an air conditioning running on the other side. So how much of that actually seeps through, we'll have to see. As you saw there, the audio is actually pretty good. Again, there was an airplane there and an air conditioner that was playing in the background, and the audio was actually pretty good and well isolated. By default, because these are in-ear, you're obviously going to be able to get a lower, basically ambient sound inclusion in the actual experience, which was the big difference between these and the original OnePlus Buds. The OnePlus Buds didn't have that basically ear isolation, so noise isolation, and of course gives us basically a much better sound, so you don't have to play the audio at very high levels. As far as actual distance, I was able to go about 25 feet away and the audio was still playing pretty good, and it was with direct line of sight. The moment I started putting things away, basically between me and the phone, I would say it went down to about 15 feet or so. And as far as the battery life, they're promising us a long battery life, and if they're anything like the OnePlus Buds, the battery life is going to be absolutely amazing. Audio quality, again, on phone calls, I did a couple of calls with them, it sounded pretty good. They were able to understand me, and they actually told me that the audio was pretty clear. So the dual microphones are doing their job pretty well. IP55 means we can definitely do some running with this, so there's not going to be any issues for exercise. Just do not go swimming with it. Just keep in mind this is not intended to be basically a water resistant. It's more splash resistant and sweat resistant. Now at the beginning they talked about the fact that this is going to give us the ability of using them for up to 20 hours. The case has a 450 milliampere battery, and each ear tip has a 40 milliampere battery built in. So charging it from 0 to 100% is about an hour when everything is dead. But if you're using them kind of consistently, charging them every once in a while, you should be able to use them pretty quick. Although in a pinch, if they actually do die in about 10 minutes, you're able to get up to 3 hours worth of playback, which is actually pretty comparable. And of course, the experience now on non-OnePlus devices is going to get better. That was one of my biggest things when I first saw the OnePlus Buds at $79, which, by the way, these guys are selling for $59. I'll give you guys a link to them in the description below. Is the fact that we're actually going to be able to get some of those customizations on non-Samsung devices coming directly from OnePlus and hopefully released in the near future. And it will give us the ability of customizing the double tap as well as a press and hold for 3 seconds, which currently is not available on the actual device. As soon as that application comes out, I'll definitely try to put out a video for you guys on how to control the OnePlus Bud Z or OnePlus Buds on other devices. My anticipation is that that's going to also be backwards compatible to the OnePlus Buds if you'd like to pick them up. So there's going to be 2 different versions of these headphones. So there's the Steve Harrington model, which has that nice customization on it, and of course there's the standard model, which is the one I'm sharing with you guys today. It's going to be selling for under $50, which is actually a really good price, specifically when it comes down to as far as performance. Now they did mention that this is going to have basically low latency, so for me, I went ahead and installed it. Not only did I do this, I also installed it and made sure to turn Fanatic mode. So we're going to turn on Fanatic mode, which in essence provides us the best low latency experience on a OnePlus device. Again, very much similar experience to what we saw originally with the OnePlus Buds. And of course, we have the ability of playing the song here, or actually the beeping sound, and let's go ahead and hit it. And for me, it kind of went right between the 200 to 300 millisecond as far as the delay. Not zero delay, obviously, that's always going to be best with a wired headset, but of course this one is not. This is a Bluetooth. So for gaming, this should not have any big problems for us overall. So what do I think of the OnePlus Bud Z? I think the improvements that they've done here is actually very nice. The overall in-ear experience is always what I prefer over open back. And mostly because of the fact that it does not allow too much noise to come in, and of course makes it so that I don't have to play the audio at a very high level. The long battery life is definitely appreciated. The pill shape is actually more ergonomically easy. Well, it's easier to put in that little pocket in our jeans than it is to actually use this one, mostly because it's just a little bit wider. The overall experience is very simple. The touch sensitivity currently is configurable only on OnePlus. My hope is by the time these become available, so when the time you're able to pick up your own pair, that the heyMelody application is going to be available, and we'll be able to customize it again with both OnePlus and non-OnePlus devices. On iOS, these are pretty much just going to work like standard Bluetooth headphones. There's not a big difference there. And of course, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of the sub $50 pair of headphones from, well, true wireless headphones from OnePlus. This is TK, and this is the brand new OnePlus Bud Z. See you guys in the next video.